The Vobes Show!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Vobes Show with your hosts, Ricardo De Vinci and Julia Moldy.
Okay.
No, that wasn't very nice, was it? Hello and welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showy. Lovely Julia here. Hello, Julia.
Hello, Richard.
How
Lovely
are you?
Richard here.
Fantastic. Now, I assume your microphone's up. Yes, my microphone's up. Haven't had much of a moment to test it because I had to do some washing up in the kitchen.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I did do some washing up and some cooking, and I've made a cup of tea. Well, actually, coffee in my floating our boat mug.
You made two of them, actually.
You don't drink coffee.
No, but you said coffee or tea.
Yeah, I said tea, then I said coffee, actually.
Yes, and
Yeah.
my brain said that you said both.
Well,
you did say both.
Yes. Anyway, never mind all that. It's Friday.
It is Friday!
It's Friday. By the way, the mysterious fruit supplier, or fruit fairy, as I think she's now known,
She's the
has
cherry
delivered
flavour.
another. At least I assume it was the fruit fairy.
Yeah.
But look, ladies and gentlemen, more cherries.
Complete with some leaves.
Complete leaf them out, will you? So we're going to have a look in there and devour any of that. No massage, but I think we probably guessed who it's from.
Well, there was a sneaky knock-knock
There was a sleeky knock-knock,
at the
yes.
beginning of the chat thread there.
Left outside the door, which is fantastic. Thank you so much. It'll be a scoff show tonight. We have some videos, of course. We have the lovely Julia, who's going to be singing all the way through various period songs.
You guys better hope not.
From the caveman days right up. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
She's slightly concerned now, as indeed I would be if you suddenly said, yeah, I've got it all prepared, and out came a whole song sheet.
And the lyra.
And an Elira.
Lyra.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you're actually supposed to pronounce it.
Yeah, lyra. I think it's a lyra as opposed to a liar. I'm the liar, and I lie down every night when I go to bed.
Shrewsbury.
Yes, who cares? Anyway,
Tomato.
Who's out?
Potato.
Who's out there in the lovely Vobosphere, lovely
We
Julia?
have the lovely Josephine Suter.
Oh, yes.
We have the lovely Long Rangley.
Long Rangley.
Long Rangley.
How long has Long
Ron
Rangley?
Langley.
How long's he been there?
Just a short while.
Oh, bless his little sock of cotton.
We have Nigel Sadler. Hello. We have Donna's Cark Dorners.
Donna's what? Corners?
I'm spoonerising today.
Oh, right, fair enough.
By mistake,
Natural
of course.
spoonerising.
Connor's Dark Corner.
Yes, hello, Connor.
Hello. Ed Loud. Hello. Days of Yore. Hello. Alan Sandel. Hello. Ramiboo 2. Hello. Elaine Whitelock. Hello. Peter Lowry. Hello. Glastonbury Gabriel. Did I say Ramiboo? I think I did.
Yeah,
Hello,
you did,
Ramiboo.
yeah. It was her birthday yesterday.
Yes. Happy birthday for yesterday.
Happy birthday. Oh, or is it today? I can't remember.
I thought it was just... Wait. No, I thought
Wait.
it was Wednesday.
Oh, was it when? Oh, we said Wednesday for Thursday, didn't we? Or Thursday? She knows when it is. Just remind us when your
I
birthday
thought
was.
hers was Wednesday and
Days
Connor's
are going
was,
too fast.
Connor's was the off day when you weren't doing a show.
Ah, yes, one of them days.
I thought.
When I'm off, when I have an off day.
But I'm probably wrong.
You know what it's like when you have an off day.
I always have off days.
Oh dear.
Hello, Andrew Norris. Hello, Bob Justice. Hello, Wilf Meyer. Hello, Andrew Murphy. Hello, Roy Ballinger. Hello, Sean's Allotment Garden and Homestead. Hello, Mark Selwood.
Hello, Mark.
I think we've got everyone.
Excellent.
Hello, Mark.
Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark. Down there in Cornwall. Mousel Richard. Gunpowder. Listen, if you're enjoying the show so far, or you anticipate that you might enjoy the show, which is more importantly, give us a big thumbs up. We're going to try and get the thumbs up to at least 60 this evening. It's a personal record to get those thumbs right up, 60 feet in the air, which would be nice.
Right up.
Right up.
Right up.
Yeah, if you can get your thumbs right up, that will be great. And also, it does help if you're standing in public with your phone and you're doing this in front of the screen. If you could do that in public, it would just help me bring the illusion that other people are looking at you going, what?
Dan World is giving lots of thumbs up. in the chat
Fantastic.
there.
Oh, how lovely is that? Now, we have phone lines here because we've got some questions to ask you in today's show. It's almost like we prepared something.
Almost.
We're going to try out these because they were so delicious
They were.
last time. And if
I had a handful.
If the lovely Josephine Suter is the one... by the way, Josephine, is your shop the one in Pulborough? Because I went past it Yes, no, this morning.
Yeah.
And I
you didn't
thought,
pop in and get some.
well, I nearly went in and got some those long things.
Always
that you-
need to go and get some
Yes, you get a nice put it in the oven,
Yeah.
and bake for about 20 min. It's quite handy if you've got some sausages. Is what I was thinking. I should have gone in and got some sausages. They don't like them up 'em apparently, according to
No,
Sean.
they don't like it up 'em.
They don't. Don't put those too far up. As long as you can pull them out with a, you'll be all right. So
Oh, gosh.
I got the first question we're asking today before the first video is, are you going to the pub? The pubs are opening in the UK tomorrow, 4th of July, with fireworks and whistles and those things that they used to do at the football matches.
Clackers?
Yes, clackers,
Like that.
maracas, snappers, and
As long as it's none of those. What was it?
baracas,
Vuvu?
verucas.
No, the really really loud trumpety thingy.
Oh yes,
Oh, God.
trumpets.
No, it wasn't a trumpet.
Um,
They've got a really weird name. Ooh, voo, 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 voo. Ooh, voo, 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 voo. No, I don't know.
Right.
I can't remember.
Well, anyway, those that she
Venezuela.
what?
I think they're Venezuelas.
Venezuela, isn't that a place? Oh, that's,
that's
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Oh, yes. If you've got your Venezuelas with you and you can make trumpet noises, that's fantastic. However, yes, are you going to the pub? That's what I want to know. Has anybody actually decided, booked a table, and is going to the pub tomorrow? I don't know what the weather is like wherever you happen to be, obviously, because I don't happen
Vuvuzela. See?
Who's?
Audrey said,
Vuvuzela.
yeah.
Blimey. Audrey Forbes Hamilton
See, I
and
wasn't
the
fibbing.
lovely Julia.
Wasn't
Yeah.
fibbing. Not like somebody else I know.
Hey, who do you know that would fib?
Oh, no, there's this author. He's got quite the silver tongue on him.
Oh, I know who you mean. Winston Graham. He wrote the Poldark novels.
Uh-huh.
Is that him?
And a certain Mercer.
A certain Mercer. Oh, Philip Mercer. Yeah, he does. Now let's see if we can open these. Oh yeah, we
So,
can.
is this another batch? Have you been again? Or is this...
Yeah, give us a call,
You just had
Josephine
too many.
Suter. Give us a ring on 0793 4746790. Tell us about how they look at the colour. Hang on, I've got.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
We've got our special cherry cam in the studio today. Let's take that bit off for a moment. Cherry cam. Actually, it's probably better that way around. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum did he, yum did he? He did. He certainly did. He had that yum and he put it in his tum. I'm going to stick one in my gob.
Sean's allotment garden and homestead says, I think you should do a lockdown lock-in pub live video for those not going out.
That would be a good idea. A lock-in pub, what did he say?
A lockdown/lock-in pub live video. Mike Stevens says, if they serve cheese ploughmans, maybe. I need to put my teeth in today. I
Yes.
can't talk.
I usually add that truddled.
I'm getting my worms mixed up. Elaine Whitelock says, no, no, I'm not. You must be joking. Kazoo says, Sean, no, it wasn't. Kazoo's good, but that's not what I was thinking. It sounds a bit like a massive trumpet kazoo.
Oh, gazoos.
No.
Yeah, what happened to the old gazoo? Do you remember the gazoos? You could play that.
Isn't that a K? Kazoo. Pedantism coming out again. Anyway, but yeah, I do remember them. I used Gazoo.
What was the other thing then?
Vuvuzela or Vuvuzela.
Okay.
Weird thing. Connor's Dark Corner says pubs are overpriced. Much rather buy from a shop and party on my own like every time I drink. Bless your heart. Well,
Party on your own.
yeah.
You know it.
That's what Im says.
You shouldn't drink alone. You should drink with a bottle. No. I mean,
Don't take advice from me.
No, you shouldn't drink. You should always drink with friends. You shouldn't drink quietly in secret upstairs. I listened to a thing on Radio 4 some years ago about a woman who had a problem with drink. She was an alcoholic. And she said, the time I realised that I was an alcoholic was when I would go upstairs with a glass of wine in my handbag so that my husband didn't see I had the glass of wine already poured out in her hand. And she suddenly realised, wait, I must have got a problem with this. So never drink on your own. You need someone else to sort of help you get through those bottles of acid or whatever it is that you drink.
Days of Yore says no pub for me. Ron Langley says no thanks. Edward Moulding says no. Mark Selwood says, I've never been one for socialising, so the current state of the pubs really suits me.
I wonder what poor old pubs are going to do because, the churches have been long lost and no longer attended, really. And now pubs seem to be going that way. They're becoming long lost and no longer attended, generally. Closing up. They were those two places were the hearts and minds and rowdy behaviour of the village. Of village life, of town's life, village life. People would either go to church and then go to the pub and forget about their sins that they just confessed to the confessor there. Thank you. That was my
That
moment.
was insightful.
Yes, that was my moment of insightfulness, ladies and gentlemen. So that was our first question. Nobody's keen to ring in on that, so I suppose the answers have just been no. There's no social people out there. Is it? But I suppose the question is the deep side of the deep side of the question is it people won't go to the pub because they just don't go to pubs generally, like most of you have said. But is it because you're nervous about going into a social environment with strangers after the COVID outbreak? Ed Loud saying, what's the next question? The next question comes out after the video. You fool.
Glastonbury's Gabriel says, I won't be going down the pub. Rick M says, the pub doesn't look much fun with all those regulations now. No thanks.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how pubs fare, actually, and whether people will go in. We've got a pub on the corner just up the road from where I am, and I don't go to the pub because, A, I don't drink really, and as somebody else said, it's already overpriced in the pub, especially when you've got a supermarket on your doorstep. But we do have a phone call. So we're going to place our headphones on and find out who it is calling up the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi show. Hello, you're through to Julia.
Hello, Julia. Your voice has gone up.
Yeah, hello, mate. All right, it's nice to see you.
All right, Cruiser.
Howdy doody, Gabriel.
Howdy doody, Julia. Lovely to see you again.
Lovely to hear you again.
Thank you. No, I'm not going down the pub. I'm not really big on going down the pub. However, it does actually pull up another question, and quite an important one. And it's not really been reported that much, but the live music industry is struggling really badly, as are a lot of musicians. Now, that's a question that needs asking. I mean, what's going to happen about that? I mean, unless social distancing or this thing goes away completely, I can't see, gigs happening again for the foreseeable future.
What about the old? Because you live in Glastonbury, where the music festival goes. What about festivals and that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, Glastonbury didn't happen, did it? They're all off.
Yeah.
They're all having virtual festivals. I've attended a few. Some friends of mine have a band called Three Daft Monkeys, and they had a session online the other night. They were really brilliant, really brilliant. They're from Cornwall.
Cool. I reckon that, the safest bet is going to be to start off with is if the pub's got a large garden to do live shows out in the garden.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so. But I mean, even then, with social distance, how do you maintain?
You can still only have,
distance?
Maybe half, not even that, maybe a third of the same of the amount of punters as you would have had before.
Don't you think though that no, go on. Sorry. No, you carry on.
People don't social distance. I mean, in Glastonbury here, what they've done is mend it. District Council, who's the overarching council, have had a grant from the government, as have others, to temporarily pedestrianise the high street when the shops reopened. The idea being that people weren't walking down the pavement and it enabled social distancing. So now they just walk within 2 metres of you in the middle of the road. It's pointless, absolutely pointless. People do not know how to social distance, and it does worry me a bit. I mean, if you're in control of the situation, you know who you're talking to, and you know what you're doing, yes. But just out in public, that's a totally different matter.
Yeah.
But people aren't. When you say they don't know how to social distance, I mean, I do find this a bit of a strange thing because I've said this so many times, it's getting boring. But in ordinary life, if you see somebody with a cough or a cold or anything like that, you're going to stay well clear of them. Before COVID ever happened, you would do that. You wouldn't purposely be looking out for somebody to rub shoulders with if they're sneezing. I mean, we just automatically we always step back. And I appreciate that you can't tell if somebody's carrying it, but most people aren't. You can tell them not if they're washing their hands and not shaking hands and hugging each other. Then most strangers will not get too close to each other just as a matter of course, won't they?
Oh no, they do. People walking right up to each other. And I mean, here's another one. I went into a charity shop the other day just to see what it was like to go back into a charity shop, because that's like my tailors. And the people there are insisting you wipe your hands with the alcohol as you go in.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I then went shopping in Morrison's, and people are just walking past the alcohol station, not washing their hands. And then they're going in, handling everything in the supermarket. People have got no idea. They just have no idea. And to
It's
use
true,
your
but
analogy,
but they
if you see somebody coughing, you're not going to go near them. But to use your analogy, at the moment, until we know otherwise, you need to treat everybody as if they're coughing and spluttering. You have a look next time you're out and see if people are walking around as if everybody's coughing and spluttering. They're not. No,
but the same token though, Gabriel, is that I've been going into Morrison's and I've seen the same staff there who are there all day long, facing people all day long, and they're not dropping down dead. They're not disappearing off the out of the store. They're not vanishing. I think there's a lot more worry than we're all given. I understand if you're a vulnerable person and you have all the potentials, then obviously that's the thing that you've got to protect yourself. But we can't not let the world go round because there's a very small proportion who are going to actually get very badly affected by it.
All I would say in response to that is have a little look here at America, and I'm sure Jeff, if he's listening, will come in on this, where the government said, no, we don't need all this in place, go back to work. And what's happening? They're crippled because they haven't been social distancing. It's as simple as that. There's your proof of your pudding. If you don't social distance, have a look at America. And I'm just worried that the second wave, historically, when we had the Spanish flu, the second wave was the killer. Not the first one so badly. Anyway, I didn't really want to get onto this. My thing was about music.
Yes, yes. Well,
music and live venues.
Yes, of course. And you open a good question there about what people will do, and same with theatres and all of those, all of the arts. If you can't get people in, the arts is a luxury, but there's some elements of the arts, as you say, you virtually online you can do it, virtual online stuff, which is not the same. I get that.
No, the problem is, a lot of the bands would get paid by going to the pub, and the pub would pay them to entertain the punters, but so they can still do their stuff live over the internet, but where do they get paid?
We'll have to do what I do and just ask, what
patronage.
I call busking on the internet. It's another word for begging, but it sounds much better. I'm busking on the internet. I've got a wife and 2 eyelids to support. Please, give me some money. On that note, by the way, if you do like the show, and you fancy supporting the Vobie One-Eye Kenobi, I've only got one eyelid to support. The other one is self-supporting thanks to the dodgy eye. So do give generously on my PayPal account. Go to boardexplorer.com and you can hand over all your money and I'll look after it for you. So
don't forget the podcast they get in return. They get a wonderful podcast.
You get a wonderful podcast. It's wonderful. It comes in black and white with red all over.
Could I just mention something about that?
Yeah, mate, you may.
A bit of a warning. It happened to me. I have an email account that I use for PayPal and nothing else.
Right.
And when I set up to pay you a regular amount, I got an email telling me that I was getting podcasts sent through to me to an email address that I never use or look at. And I just found a load of them recently.
I hope they're nice ones. I hope they haven't gone off. They sometimes can get a little bit yellow around the edges if you don't listen to them on time.
A bit withered, yeah. But no, because I know a few people I know use a separate email address for their
it's very strange because I will reply to everybody who signs up on the Naked Englishman podcast on the Patreon stuff, and it's funny, I'm aware that not everybody seems to get that email, but it's the only email I have. You know, if you
Yeah,
sign
exactly.
up, that's the email I get. So I can only say thanks very much for being a patron. Here's the £400,000 that I offered for those, you know,
In return, yeah.
in return. And it goes into a box that they never check. It's such a shame. So when they do check it, yeah, they can get surprised and go, oh my God, 400 bloody Naked Englishman podcasts from that Vogue bloke.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, Gabriel, we're going to show a video now. And
Okay, I'll go away.
for once, it's not one of yours.
Yes, I know. I haven't got anything. I'm going for a walk on the Polden Way on Sunday.
Oh, are
Hopefully
you?
Yes, I'm going to do the walk that I mentioned.
Oh,
with
lovely.
a friend of mine.
Oh,
all being
lovely.
Well.
Well, we
And
don't...
I'm also going to do a video showing people how to do very basic videos and get them sent in to you. 'Cause
Yeah.
We need to get more people sending videos in, don't
That's
we?
right, definitely. I can tell you, though, we have got Peter Lowry and another book to look at. That's coming on the Vogue show later.
good.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Be good. Thank you. See you, Julia.
Take care,
Lovely to see
Gabriel.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we are, the voice of lovely Gabriel. Just trying to find the button to press to turn the phone up. Can I move these? Have you had enough? Would you like more?
I haven't had any yet because
Oh.
I'm going to wash them first.
Oh, I don't. You know what I'm like. I don't live for the moment, and die the next minute after.
It's funny because as you were talking about that with Gabriel,
Yeah.
I had to have a
You had to have a what?
little cough.
Oh, I
That
see it
way.
over in that direction. Yeah. Oh, why am I don't need the headphones now.
Neither do I.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We were just Cybermen for a moment there, or Cyberwomen and man, whatever way you want it. Before we go to the videos, any comments that's worth reading out?
Yes, there was one up there. Oh, and Mike Stevens says USA economy is booming. Some of the best trading figures ever recorded.
Oh, great.
Where is that other one? Oh, Alan Sandel says Texas just mandated masks and shut the bars.
Oh, what a shame.
Mike Dixon says we have a table booked for 5 p.m. at the North Star pub in Worthing.
Oh, right.
Saturday evening. Can't
Fantastic. Yes, well, we'll be with you. Thanks very much for booking it. 2 extra places. Thank you. Ka-ching. Andrew Monroe says it's interesting that many people sadly die of flu each year, but you never hear of that. No, we never hear it. Then we never get a count, do we, every year of how many people have died of flu. Maybe we ought to. Maybe we ought to compare, which would be good. What's that Rick M says?
50,000 excess deaths in winter 2017. England and Wales only flu related. Pubs were open and the world functioned.
Yes, it's interesting statistics, and you can sit there for ages looking at them. But we're going to look at a video.
Yes.
So, going into the video box like this. And Dave Ford is first up on the Carousel of Love. And he's got some fine little insect friends he wants to introduce us to. Do you like insects?
I do.
You might like this then.
Hello Richard, hello everybody, hope everyone's well. Dave here with a little 60-second vlog. I'm out in God's Hill Wood, beautiful summer's morning, doing a recce, and just one thing just to show you, just passing through this wood. I love ants' nests. This one is a real whopper. Look at this. I'll carefully go in. Look at that. Now I reckon this has got to be at least a metre high. I don't want to get in too close because the focus will probably go out. And these are southern wood ants. Huge, so much bigger than the ants we get at home in the garden. And they can get a bit aggressive if you upset them. But, oh, and they're still building. So busy. I guess somebody's in charge there. They all seem to know what they're doing. But that is, that's a big one. Right, that's it. Back exploring. So, until we meet again, cheerio.
Cheerio, old chap. How about that? Do you like ants? Does that make you itchy looking at all those ants wiggling around?
I couldn't really see them very well.
No, well, the trouble with the GoPro
Thankfully.
camera is you can't get too close to something because it's a fixed
So I was
length.
fine with that.
So yeah,
No, I don't hate ants, but I don't like them crawling up my leg.
that was a big anthill though. That was like the old anthill mob. And I just need to say, for those of you who are in imperial measurements, that's about 3 foot. He said a metre. Of course, I understand some of the viewers out there may not know what a metre is. I don't know what a metre is these days. So I had to revert to the Vobes rule of thumb, which was about 22 thumbs, which made a metre. I don't know. We have another call of phones. Let's see who that is calling up on the phone on the show. Hello to you, caller, ringing in.
Hello, this is London calling.
Hello, London. Hello, London. This is Worthing. Worthing by the sea are receiving you.
The news coming out of London today
Yes.
is that the Mousetrap is opening in October.
Oh, the
with
Mousetrap.
social distancing.
Fantastic. What does the mouse have to stay away from the trap? Is that how the concept works now?
I think they're going to put the audience into the trap.
They put the audience into the trap, and the mice comes round and feeds them bits of cheese.
But I could save you the £80 ticket and just tell you the policeman did it.
Oh,
so
could do. Yeah, but don't tell us that. Just don't
No,
tell
well,
us.
I
The butler did
I
it,
always
didn't
thought they had a different ending every night,
he? Yes.
so they could change it.
Yes.
Because I went to go and interview the producer once,
Right.
and I said, "How do you approach doing a play that's so famous?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I just tell the actors to follow the marks on the carpet, darling."
What he said. Just follow the marks on the carpet, darling. That's theatre for you. That is theatre. It's Sean, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in
Sean
case
from
anybody didn't realise, from London, with a Welsh accent, which is always,
Yeah.
confusing. But then London has a number of accents. I believe there's an English accent up there somewhere.
Up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
That's the lovely
How are
Julie.
those? How are those cherries?
They are tasty.
Very, very tasty. This is so nice. If anybody fancies leaving a bowl of cherries outside my door, please just do it. It's great. These are homegrown, these ones.
Well, I thought of you today when I was walking through the shop and saw a shop that was just selling shoelaces, and I thought I might buy some and just send them.
Yeah, you should do that, because that's a thing now. Well, it's
No,
happened to
what
me.
I-
Just because it's happened to me doesn't mean everybody's doing it. It's not. I thought it would be an internet sensation. It would catch on. Everyone would be buying each other licorice bootlaces, but doesn't seem to have worked.
No, well, I had a strange encounter. Somebody stopped me, put their hand out to the 2-meter mark, and said, "I love your videos. Keep up with the good work." But his mask was so big I couldn't even see his face, and then he just went into the shop.
It was Zorro.
I don't know who. I don't know.
No,
who it
not
was.
Andrew Norris's dog. I'm not suggesting it was Andrew Norris's dog, Zorro, but the other one, the masked crusader, Zorro. Or who was the other one on the horse, the Hi-Ho Silver Away?
Yeah.
Whatever his name was.
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger used to come in on the William Tell Overture. As long as Andre Previn was doing the conducting, he was a bit fussy. He wouldn't come in. If Tonto lifted up the baton, he wasn't the slightest interest. Listen, Sean, got a next question, and this is for everybody as well, but you can be the very first lucky soul to answer the question. Here it is. What was, or has been, if anything, your worst Amazon or online purchase during the lockdown?
Oh, no. I bought some elastic bands.
As you do, elastic. When was the hang on just a moment, Sean? When was the last time, lovely Julia, you bought some elastic bands?
It would have been at least 10 years ago, and it was only because they were purple.
Well,
They were very useful.
Well, these ones are about 5 foot long.
What? Elastic bands?
Elastic bands.
I didn't say gastric band. I said elastic bands.
Resistance bands. So you can do the weights because the gym's closed.
Oh, very good.
I noticed in the beginning I bought all my rations, and for some reason I ate them within 48 hours because they were in the house.
Right.
So I put a bit of weight on the old tum.
Ah, little flabby one, eh? So you got
I
these.
know all about that.
But I bought them at the start of the lockdown, and they turned up yesterday.
Oh, Right, so what's that? About 13 or 14 weeks now, isn't it?
Apparently, they were on a very slow boat from China via Huddersfield.
Yeah, I hope you washed them when you got them, because you know what comes from China, don't you? So that's the worst. Is that the longest you've had to wait then for something that you've ordered online?
Probably, yes.
Right.
But I did buy a £100 camera from Amazon once.
Yes.
And I ended up with a £1,000 camera.
Well, that's always works, isn't it? Did they accidentally put that? As long as they didn't charge you the £1,000.
No, they told me to keep it because there was a woman in Iceland who bought a £1,000 camera.
And she got £100.
She had a £100 camera.
Oops.
Oopsie.
So they basically said, look, just keep it. I will send the order out again.
We'll just see if she notices.
And I was like,
My
well,
photography's
you
always
have to
been
send me a £100
lousy.
camera.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is. That's very
Well, I'm
fun.
just waiting for my books to turn up now because I've ordered 5 of.
Oh yes, you told me.
Yes.
HV Morton.
Yes.
Yes, I look forward to that. Should come tomorrow. You said.
Yes. There's one coming tomorrow. There's one coming Sunday. There's one coming Monday.
Do you remember the titles?
The first one.
Any of them doesn't matter.
Oh, I can't.
Now
Don't
you're
worry.
testing him.
Yeah, now I'm testing him. There we go. I mean, you know, whatever. Brilliant. Okay, so that was it. So that's the question we're now asking before we put the next video on. Thank you so much, Sean, for giving us a tinkle.
soon.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Look after yourself.
Bye.
There we are, the wonderful Sean there calling in. We can take our headphones off now because
yes.
it makes us look less handsome. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. What is has anybody else got up there the worst purchase they've got, an online purchase? During lockdown specifically, but it can be any
Nigel
other
Sadler said, I bought an old-fashioned iPad to HDMI lead and it fell apart as soon as it was connected. It was for my mother-in-law.
Oh, that's no good, is it? An HDMI, what, an HDMI lead for a laptop, did he say? What did he say? I wasn't listening.
HDMI lead.
Yeah.
iPad to HDMI.
Oh, right, and the lead fell apart.
Seems so.
Oh, blimey.
Days
That's
of
it.
Your
Yes.
Days of Yore says, my worst purchase on Amazon was some book about a ghost detective.
Really? That must have been awful. Can you imagine that? Who was the author on that? Some dreadful kids thing, was it? The question I want to know is, did you get the Kindle version or did you get the solid version? Because if you'd inquired from the appropriate place, you could have got a signed copy for an extra 11 quid. Just saying. The Ghost Detective, fantastic book. I've read that one. Yeah.
I'm yet to read that one.
I've read it. I proofread it as well, funnily enough, and edited it and designed the cover.
And wrote it.
Oh, well, there was that minor part of dreaming it up as well. Yeah.
Ramaboo2 says, I think the only thing I ordered while on lockdown was more seeds. They all seemed to come in a very timely matter.
Oh, in the timely matter, not a solid matter, just a timely matter.
Manner.
Oh, manner, beg your pardon. In a timely manner. They come with a clock attached or something.
Probably.
Sean, what's he got there? In Search of Wales. Oh, here we are. In Search of Wales, London, Nights of London, The Spell of London, The Smell of London, The London Stench in the Sewers of London, Further Down Under London Till You're No Longer in London, on the part of London that's underneath the sea, Last Week in London, London on a Train, Trains Near London, The London Tube That's Got a Tube Near London.
I zoned out ages ago, by the way.
Oh, right, fair enough. A lot of people do. Yes.
Josephine Suter said she ordered a dog bed, and when it came, it was absolutely tiny, the size of a hand.
The size of a dog
that's no
bed?
good for any dog, is it?
Wait a minute, did they misspell that as doll bed? You know, for like little tiny, little doll, little dolly, hello little
Even
dolly.
a chihuahua would grow out of that pretty quick.
Yeah, that was really... And did you send it back? That's what I want to know.
I should hope so.
Oh, a Harry Potter book, says Robert Croser. Dreadful read. Yes, well, I haven't. I've not actually read the whole thing. I read about a page and a bit of the very first book and then decided it wasn't for me. Too many words in it. So that's that.
I'll get you reading Tolkien.
Yes. Can I have my empty box back, Gabriel? Oh.
That's because Gabriel said, I bought a phone and an empty box turned up.
Oh. Somebody taking the phone out. Andy Dalgleese says, I bought at Artfon Orba synth. Oh, an
Artifon.
Artisan Orba.
synth.
Turns out they aren't even manufactured yet. The fraudster did send me 2 little speakers. Artisan are legit. I just clicked on a dodgy link. So easy to do that. I'm sorry that you clicked on that link that said Vobes dodgy accessories. I was waiting for someone to say the Bald Explorer mug was a bad purchase, but they are available on the Bald Explorer website. You know, when you can sign up for that patronage when you hand over the keys to your house with the deeds. For those very rich people.
Josephine Suter says, oh, and I ordered some cherries from China.
Oh, did you? Did you leave them anywhere, by the way?
Devilish lady.
Cherries from China. Mm-hmm. China cherries. Yeah, these are nice to...
Does that be why I'm coughing?
That's why, yeah. It's all that China thing. Well, I think it's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for us to go and have a snooze. Night. No, to put on another video. Do you think?
Yes.
I think by consensus of my co-presenter here, stuffing her face with cherries, which is perfect, we will do that. So in order to do that...
What's in the video box?
What is in the video box?
What is in the video box?
I'm just
That's
trying
a
to...
genuine question.
Yes. It's now time, ladies and gentlemen, for young Master Peter.
Ooh.
I say, Peter... What's that you've got in your hand? I hope you won't roll it up and put it into your backside so when you get 6 of the best you won't feel it, old chap. I think he's got a rolled up magazine to show us. Mrs.
Hello everyone. I've got a motorcycle magazine here from December 1950 when it was 6p and that's old money, 2.5p by today. But there's some real old interesting adverts in it. Here we've got, why not enjoy a real change? Try Asturias cigarettes. I don't remember them. They certainly weren't around in the 60s. And here we've got, fit a new back wheel to your bicycle with an engine in it and make it out of an engine so you don't have to pedal. And here's Harry's paintbrushes. Somebody hanging on the bristles to show how strong the bristles were. Whether that would have worked or not, I don't know. And Swarfiga hand cleanser there. I remember using that when I first started work. And here's advert for pipe tobacco, Will's Golden Cut Bar for your pipe. And here is someone on his motorbike, complete with his pipe. There's all these adverts for old clothing here. A lot of it's XR, like Dispatch Riders Army boots, 30 shillings. I remember back in the 60s having some of them, and you could hardly get them on. There was that many laces and buckles and things to do up. Old style crash helmet. There's a coat, Storm Guard coat. And here's someone on his way. It's a moped, complete with his collar tie suit and his trilby hat on. How the trilby hat stayed on, I don't know why it didn't blow off. And there's all these adverts here for different clothing, duffel coats, Dispatch Riders boots, flying jackets, 85 shillings, which is not just over £4, £4.25. I think they're more, if you bought a flying jacket now, they're more like £150, I think, a new one. And all these different old adverts for all sorts of things, motorbikes. It is a motorbike magazine, so mainly motorbikes, but there's all these other things here, tools, clothing, a ski cap, a leather helmet, all sorts of things. Really interesting old magazine. Motorbike and sidecar. More clothing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Bye.
Bye-bye, Peter.
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Oh, I love it.
It looks like it was printed just like last week.
I know, it was pristine, wasn't it? Yes.
Pristine. Crisp.
Crisp. Absolutely. Yes, I must...
Just love his accent too. don't
I
you?
was going to say, I must get my duffel coat.
I want him to say biscuits again.
Can you say biscuits in your
Biscuits.
next video,
love
Peter?
it.
We love it. We love your accent. It's so lovely to see all those old things and the trilby hat that doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
What a great invention.
What tops it all off? Is his lovely face.
This is lovely face.
Peter's lovely
yes,
face.
we need to see more of your cheeky face. Fantastic.
Lots of lovely comments about Peter's video there.
Oh, look at that. Men used to wear suits on the beach in the 50s, says Audrey Forbes. How interesting. How did they manage to read those adverts? The text is so tiny, says Mark Selwood. Mark Selwood also tells us he's got a copy of Splidge the Crag Flinger, which is now put on Amazon, no refunds. Yes, I noticed that, Mark. Thank you.
Signed.
Signed? Oh, a signed version. No refunds, though. Which, what does that tell you? Funny. Peter is my hero, says Glastonbury Gabriel. Quite right, too. He is ours. Very interesting. I love seeing old magazines. Says, yeah, well, we know what sort of magazines you watch, Henry. Ones with trains in, clearly.
The adverts are some of the best parts of those magazines.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
It's an encapsulation of time and all those old designs and things, and you just wonder how many people bought stuff from those magazines. I suppose they did. They must have done it. Wouldn't have paid otherwise, but hundreds and hundreds of things.
Yeah.
In that era, 1951. Blimey, how about that? Was it 51 that they had the Crystal Palace thing? What was that?
I have no idea.
Where they did the research. What was that? Old Linda Kane will know. They did one in I think it was 1851. Was the great. What was the thing at Crystal Palace where they opened the doors and everybody went? But then I thought they did another one about 100 years later. I may be wrong.
Oh, you mean the mass exodus where people died?
No.
I'm just trying to work out what you're talking about.
Well, what I'm talking about is somebody will tell me what it is. What was that thing? The Great Exhibition. The Great Exhibition. Thank you very much, me. The Great Exhibition. That's it. There we are. Look, Audrey Forbes knows what I'm talking about. Now, when was that?
Someone does.
There was one in the Victorian period, which I think was 1851. Oh, 1960. I was only just around in 1951 and wasn't really into motorbikes. Okay. Festival of Britain. Oh, yes. Then they had the Festival of Britain, and that was the one in the 50s, wasn't it? Am I right? Or am I right? I'm just pulling out these sort of long-lost bits of memory that are sort of working their way like worms in space that haven't really attached to anything. Do you get thoughts like that?
It's a good way of describing your brain, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you have thoughts that haven't really quite yet attached anywhere, and they're just sort of, suddenly you're aware of them. They fly in front of your screen. So the Great Exhibition and the British Empire Exhibition. Thank you, Linda. Thank God somebody's grounded around here. Can you give us the dates? And is 51 part of it? Because that's Festival of Britain. Yes, 50s. Thank you, Graham Roff. Oh, it is like extracting teeth. And the Festival of Britain held in Battersea Park. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, it all comes back. I wasn't around then, of course, but you're going
to start singing Celine Dion. It's all coming back to you. It's all coming back to you.
Is that how she sings?
Anyway.
I mean, is that the lyrics of her song?
Yeah.
How does it go?
I'm not going to do it.
It's all coming back.
It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
Oh, there we are. I see. Told you Julia was going to sing some
I
songs.
couldn't bear to hear you try and butcher it, so yes, you made me do it.
If there's any song that you would like Julia to sing, he said Harriet, then if you'd like to...
Oh.
I know.
Poor Harriet.
It was funny enough. I was talking to her on the phone earlier today. She's gone
How
off,
is she right?
Yeah, she's gone off to a weekend.
Oh,
with
she's
a
gone off
friend.
to a weekend.
Yeah, she's gone off to a
Or for a
weekend in
weekend.
Somerset.
Oh, lovely.
She rang.
Oh, I'm jealous.
She rang when I was filming Lee Dallon on the farm.
Oh, and you were filming Lee Dallon,
And then she rang and I had to go to answer.
Hello, I'm on the farm.
I'm on the farm. I can't talk to you at the moment. Can you understand there? I'm standing with my feet in a whole load of manure and my head covered in slurry. It's nice to talk to you and I'll see you in Surrey.
And just
Bye.
call me back in an hour.
Arr. Absolutely. So I did call her back and she was on her way. And
Did you call her front too?
I didn't call her. I called her ears actually.
Oh.
Ears and mouth. That's good.
Yeah.
She's picking up. So anyway, I can't remember what I miscalled you, Harriet, but I meant to call you. Oh yes, if you want a song, ladies and gentlemen, just tell me to sing it and she'll fill in. Yeah, she's very good at the singing. I don't know what. Yeah, you see, you could get on that Zoom. I think that's a bike. I saw it in Peter's magazine. Sean says the Festival of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, also known as the Festival of Brexit. All right, government-funded celebration in 2022. Wow, carry on singing. Yes, that's the new. Oh no, something about. Will Julia sing "This Is My Life" by Shirley Bassey?
I don't think I even know that one.
How does that go? This is my life.
Don't, because I don't know how to.
My life.
Shush.
Do you know how it goes?
No.
No. Somebody will have to sing it to us. British Park exhibition was in 1942. Oh, the Festival of Britain 1961.
51. Apparently.
Oh, 51. I beg your pardon. So 51 was on. But when was the Great Exhibition? The Victorian one, the Festival of Britain, the National. Oh, here we go.
It says Park British Exhibition.
Yeah, summer of 51. But it's the one at Crystal Palace. Sorry. The one at Crystal Palace that took place in the Victorian period. Wasn't that 1851? Come on now, you know. Right.
You'd be quicker just Googling it yourself.
Yes, that's true. And it's time now for our next question.
Which is?
The next question we want to find out from you in our talking point on Friday talking point, is
Friday.
talking point is what was the last DVD you bought? What was it? Was it music or was it a video? Preferably a video. What was the last
Don't
film?
they usually call it CD if it's?
Oh
just
yeah,
music?
they might do. Yeah, that's true.
It's a
right.
DVD if it's film.
Finger up my nose. What was the last DVD film that you bought? It could be a Blu-ray, but what was the last one? Not a downloaded, streamed, this, that, and the other. What was the last one, and why? Why? We want to know that. 1851. You see, look, you say you come into the studio. Julia comes into the studio and goes, "Hello, thicko," and there's some bits of facts that I did know.
Thicko.
Yeah.
I think it's like you'd keep me around if I said that.
What?
Like, yeah. You wouldn't hang around with me if I called you things like that.
No, of course I
It
wouldn't.
would be awful. I wouldn't say something
I
so
know, that's why I
horrible, and
said
it's
it.
untrue.
It is untrue. That's why I said it in jest.
That's why you said it with your tongue in cheek, but I just can't. I can't even joke.
No, that's true. Anyway, the
idiot.
point was there was some bits of information that I did manage. You know, sometimes I know you think I'm not always coherently here. The 1851 was held in Hyde Park. No, it wasn't. Hyde Park was at Crystal Palace. I've got a book about it. The Great Exhibition. I've got a book about it.
Just Google it.
No, it's a shilling. I think it was a shilling to get in.
This is like going on Facebook and saying, "Can anyone tell me how much it is for such and such
can
down at the
someone
shop?"
And you just say, "Why don't you Google it, you idiots?" Anyway, the DVD. What was the last DVD you bought? Any you tell me.
Ron
what they're doing.
Langley
I've
says,
gotta go next
"Rocket
door.
Man like Elton John."
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a phone
Oh,
call.
I better come back.
Ha ha.
I wanted to get my book on the Great Exhibition. Hello, caller. You're live now into the madhouse that we call the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Shobi with the lovely Julia.
Hello.
Hello, Julia and Richard.
Hello, Ed Loud.
Yeah, I lost track of the show for a minute then. I was listening to you trying to work out the exhibition at Crystal Palace.
Yes, the
Blows
great
my mind.
exhibition, isn't it?
I'm completely lost, and I should know because I go to Crystal Palace quite a lot. But there you go. I don't know.
I think isn't that why they built Crystal Palace? Because of the great exhibition?
That's the story I heard. That
17,
that was why it
I
was
think it's something
named
like
Crystal Palace.
17,000 panes of glass.
I'm actually looking at a bus right now that says it's going to Crystal Palace. So
Well, there you
I
are.
really
What a
should know.
coincidence.
I'm looking at the 122 bus that goes to Crystal Palace. So now everyone's going to work out what roads I might live on. Oh dear.
What?
Oh no, this might be good. I might get some cherries arriving.
Yeah, it worked for me. Listen,
Cherry Ferry.
what was the last DVD you bought?
Yes. Oh no, I shouldn't tell people that at once. It was one about steam trains. It came with a book as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
It wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't. Wait for it. It wasn't. This one, was it?
This one that I'm fumbling around for still.
It wasn't this one. Southern Steam, 1987 to 1967. Here we are, sir. Nice.
I can see it. No, it wasn't that one.
Oh, what a shame! Because I've it shows you how much interest I've got in Steam. Because this one I must have got ages ago. I think I got this in 1642, just as the English Civil War was brewing up, and I haven't taken the cellophane wrapper off. So I've never actually looked at it. A compilation of archive film of steam and railways from southern England.
It was actually about a smallish railway in a place that you can probably get. So we might touch on with that area anymore.
A smallish place that we might guess. The Isle of
Yeah,
Wight.
there's a railway which I believe you've been on, if I remember.
Oh,
correctly.
Bick and Scott?
No, in the Romney Marshes.
Oh, the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch.
I was going to say this is
Yes,
Romney
Yeah.
Marshes. It's
Yes,
Ed Loud.
Yes, Ed Loud, yes. Romney Marsh. I mean, he owns them. He is the Lord, actually. He is
I
the
would
Lord
like
of the Marsh. Aren't you, Ed?
Yeah, and I wish I was. And the other question is, what had I bought online? Absolutely nothing. I don't do any shopping online. I'm
Is that
quite
true?
old-fashioned. Yeah, I just don't. If I have to get something online, I will. But I think the last thing I bought online must have been about 8 years ago. So just like going to the shops and holding things and looking at them and sizing them up.
Why, do you think they're going to punch you or something?
Funnily enough, I did buy some boxing gloves once, but that's a long story. They were
Yeah.
from my granddad.
You used to size them up, didn't you? Water, come on. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, Harry?
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
I'm sure some people know what I mean. I just like to, look at something. It's like the difference between having a record and having an MP3.
Yes.
You just like to hold it in your hand and
Yes.
know that you actually have that item.
Yes, I like to hold it in my hand and know that I've actually got that item. What?
And
I don't know what you're inferring.
and as for going to the pub, I have no plans to go to the pub, but I have already been to a pub that was doing takeaway only. So
Oh, what
that
fish
was
and
quite
chips?
nice. No, beer. Oh, God. What are you like, Vobes?
I missed that.
What am I like? I'm like, I don't know what I'm like. I'm like me. There's this bloke on the internet who does this show. Sometimes he's on his own. Sometimes he's got the lovely Julia with him. That's who I'm like.
Yes, I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, I didn't have to have a drink in a pub, but got a drink on draft in a plastic container.
And what was that like though? I mean, okay, we know it's what's it? It's like being at these festivals where you get some dodgy old beer in a plastic cup. I mean, if you're going to have beer, you've got to have it in a glass tumbler, haven't you? In a proper glass. I mean, I know that you get the old country folk, not the you know, the sort of Morris dancing folk that have to have pewter mugs and all that kind of nonsense. I mean, I don't think that's a bit soupy now. I like I think a nice beer glass. I don't mind if it's a straight glass or those funny looking ones with the handles. What are they?
Tankard.
Yeah, the ones that have got the flattened as if somebody's hit it with 110p's.
I do like the ones with handles.
Yes.
I used to call them old man glasses, but
Yes.
grown to like them. I really, and I think it keeps your drink cool because your hand isn't warming up the drink.
Yes, that's very true. And of course, a lot of people drink that awful lager stuff, and if you heat that up with body language, body warmth, then you just taste the chemicals because there's nothing nice about lager. But real ale, of course, is a completely different thing, and people can wax lyrical for ages and ages about it. I've got several books on it. Probably got a whole bookshelf on real ale.
I won't bore you with my opinions on beer, but I'm definitely not a lager person. But
No.
yeah, just had a lovely drink with some friends. I was on a socially distanced long walk with a mental health group that I know.
Oh, yeah.
We went from one football ground to another. There's no sort of public football going on, so we just sort of did the walk and popped into a pub in Tooting, and then we went and sat on the common and drank our drinks for 10 minutes. It was quite fun.
I did a fascinating 5-mile socially distanced walk not so long ago. I started one end and the other bloke started the other end. We were so socially distanced. It was great. Apart from obviously the bit that we met up in the middle, killed it. Just killed it. We both.
That was the whole effort gone to waste right there.
Yeah. Listen, Ed, we need to play another video, but thank you so much for that. That's really interesting. As ever, you're a wonderful contributor, and thank you for giving us a call.
All right, well, take care, you two.
Yeah, look after yourself. Have a good weekend.
Always good to hear from you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. How about that?
How about it?
Well, I was just asking you. Has he? No, hang on. I don't want to be calling him. There we are. It's coming up. Sometimes I can't understand my phone. Take my headphones off because my ears hurt. Yeah, I know. So I don't understand. Oh, it's another call.
There is another call.
Hello.
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 It's Sean again.
Hello, Sean.
Hello,
Oh, Sean
Sean
again.
again.
Twice in an evening. We know we charge for twice
I
in an
just
evening.
want to clear up this situation because I don't want fake news to get out.
Right. Okay. Don't
Now,
worry about
I
that.
live in Sydenham,
I can't help
and
that.
the great
I know
Great
that.
Exhibition
Yes.
of 1851 was held in Hyde Park.
Was it?
And then after, they didn't know what to do with the building, so they erected it in Sydenham. But they then renamed part of that area Crystal Palace.
Sorry, just letting the tumbleweed go past. Hold on. There it goes.
So there you go.
So that's what happened. So let me just get this straight. See if I've got this absolutely right. That they in Hyde Park, they erected a massive, great big building, charged people a shilling to go in. They all did the Great Exhibition of 1851 in, as it happens, 1851, which was a coincidence, you've got to admit, and a happy one. And then at the end, they collapsed the building because it was probably, what's the name of that Swedish firm that you can buy everything you don't want them buying?
IKEA.
Yes,
IKEA.
exactly. So it was an IKEA flat pack, and then they took it over to an area that wasn't called Crystal Palace, but it was actually your house in Sydenham.
It was Sydenham because it was designed by Joseph Paxton, who lived in Sydenham at the time.
Oh, and he had a bit of spare land in his back garden, I suppose, and he just said, just stick it in the back there, boys.
There you go.
And then they circled that bit off and said, we're going to call that Crystal Palace. Is that the fact?
And then they opened it back up in 1854.
Oh, so it's 1854, and people could come in and have a look round and, look at the wonders of the world. Because it was selling the empire, wasn't it? Or was that the Festival of Britain? I think that was the Festival of Britain, was selling the empire. I think the Crystal Palace one was, I think it may well have done a bit of the... Because people didn't know what... other countries look like, did they? And they said they would have themed areas, so you could go in, you could see what an excerpt of Africa and an excerpt of places that we had taken a shine to.
Well, they were going to rebuild it about 8 years ago, and a company bought the land, and they were going to a Chinese company were going to build the Crystal Palace, but the problem is now. The land is owned by 4 councils because all the councils seem to meet in the middle of the park and nobody can decide anything.
Right.
So it keeps going round in circles.
Yeah, well, they had the O2. They could have gone there, couldn't they? Really. Anyway, we must. But thank you for clearing that up, because obviously the internet was going to just burn out.
Yes.
So thank you, Sean. Yeah, take care.
Bye.
There we are. I think Sean's cleared that out. I was going to go and get my book, which I may still do. Before we go, comments.
If you could scroll back up for me a little.
Yeah, because there were loads of interesting
Yeah,
comments. Rocket Man by Elton John.
Yeah, that's what I'd said. Just
How does that
before
go?
What? I don't know. It's a
Rocket
film.
Man.
It's a film, though, isn't it?
Oh, I thought that isn't he a
not?
song? Rocket Man, Elton John. He's a singer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rocket Man, I'm a man who goes like a rocket. No, I'm not boasting. Sorry, carry on with the commenters.
Beauty and the Beast by Jean Cocteau, made.
Oh, these are films that the last
1946.
DVDs they bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Brain on slow mode.
Because it's magical. And Sean's allotment says, oh no, yeah,
Words.
what he phoned in about.
Yeah, thanks.
Perth to Inverness, Driver's Eye View was the last DVD I bought, says Henry's Adventure.
What was it? Linda Cadman says, just arrived the Mousel, Richard, the Mousel Cat DVD. Oh, that is actually Mouse Hole Cat, is it? Or is it the cat from Catford?
I've got no idea. John Berger says, I still only buy my movies on disc. Recently bought Frozen 2 and that horrible movie, The Rise of Skywalker, on 3D Blu-ray this year.
Do you keep it in the fridge or the freezer, John?
Audrey Forbes Hamilton says, James Bond Spectra, not my choice.
James Bond Spectrum?
Spectra.
Oh, yes. Yes. I can't wait for the new James Bond, whoever it is going to be, rather than this old system.
Mark Selwood said, the last DVD I bought was David Cronenberg's Shivers Arrow Blu-ray.
What? David Cronenberg's Shivers Arrow Blu-ray?
Yeah. The last two DVDs I bought weren't Blu-ray at all.
Oh, we have yet another phone call,
Fern
ladies
Gully
and
and the
gentlemen.
Last Unicorn.
Fern Gully and the Last Unicorn. Let's find out who's calling on the old Vobie One-Eye Kenobi Shobi. Hello.
Oh, hello. Thank you for joining me. Or should it be, hello, thank you for letting me join you?
Hello, it's good to hear you joining us.
It's nice of you to join us. Makes a change.
Yeah, it's quite funny, actually, because I was watching you on the thing, and I thought, the moment you answer, I'll turn the volume down. But you must be a few seconds behind.
We are, yes.
We're I can see you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you just put the headphone on now, so...
Yeah, we're a bit out of breath, actually. That's why we're a bit slow. We're just trying to catch up. Because you're always ahead of us, you see.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, yes, there is a delay on the line. Don't worry about that. We'll get him
No,
off.
no, that's all right. No, I realise now, yeah.
So, yes.
Go on.
No, I was going to say, are you ringing up about the DVDs?
No, I wasn't actually. I mean, that was a comment I made. But, yeah, no, I thought it was quite funny you mentioned Beaconscott when, who was it, Ed Loud mentioned about Romney Harden Dymchurch.
Oh, yes, and having a small train set, because they are a train service. They've got a train service at Beaconscott, haven't they? Beaconscott Model Village, I should say. Which,
reopens on Monday. So at some point this week, I'll probably ought to head over there and say hello. As it's been, for me, probably matters more for me than other people. It's been a long, strange month of not going on any train. So,
yes.
As they all start to awaken, I think I've decided this weekend there's a miniature railway in Hertfordshire, so they're sort of the first one that says they're open. It's not too far, so I thought, I'm going to get over there.
Because we should remind the lovely viewer, if he's still there, somebody poke him with a stick. We should remind the lovely viewer that you've pledged to go and there she goes. Wake up, viewer. Wake up. You've pledged to go and visit every model railway in the country, or something like that.
That's it, yeah. So since March. Is it March? Yeah. Yeah, March. I haven't been on one. That was in Gloucester.
Yes.
So,
great. Was it one of those wonderful things? I pledge to do that. Oh, hang on, lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's almost, I don't know. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it if lockdown had come along, but, you know, it's, you could say that about anything. It's kind of like you have all these plans and lockdown has sort of...
scuppered it.
And I think this weekend I was going to go mad about going to the pub. Well, as much as I like going to pubs, I'm not actually I don't feel a desire to get to a pub tomorrow night.
No, there'll be plenty of time, and you know, the novelty people who want to be the first in and have their Instagram pictures taken of, look at us, we're supporting the local pub, and the landlord going, yeah, but you've never been here for 5 years, you know, you're just doing it for the Instagram picture, which I'm sure a lot of people will do. Hark at me being cynical. And then there'll be plenty of time, because in time, of course, they will knock out this stupid nonsense about being a metre distance, and everybody will have to be a centimetre close. So
It sounds like on the tube train going up to London.
yeah, like old times, really.
Yeah, I must say that doesn't appeal to me either, to go up to London just yet, because I don't really like the idea of wearing a mask on a train.
No.
I mean, I will if I have to, but...
No, I won't get me anywhere. If I have to wear a mask, I'm not going there. I just refuse to wear a mask.
I thought, well, I might go up to Saltburn and visit up in, is it Cleveland, and the town next to it's called Marsk-on-Sea. I thought, after you wear a mask on a train, I should go up there.
Is that really a place called Marsk-on-Sea?
Spelled differently, yeah, but it is called Marsk-on-Sea. So I thought, yeah, if I'm going to go there,
Yes.
yeah, I'll wear a mask. A bit like, I'm not sure when, there's going to be a new railway station near Aberystwyth opening in Wales called Bow Street. So I thought I should wear a bow tie the day I go there.
Fantastic. Yes, that would be great. Talking to Beckenscott, I don't know whether I ever told you, but I used to do stilt walking at Beckenscott.
Yeah, now, I think we had this over the comments once. We never quite got to the bottom of it, because, you know, I've been involved at Beckenscott since about 2005, and I was working there full-time for quite a few years. Now I've sort of moved on into other things, but I kind of, you know, I go over there and, you know, play around with trains occasionally. I'm wondering if you and I have perhaps met at Beckenscott and not realised...
Did you ever see a stilt walker at Beckenscott?
Yeah, there's more recent years, there's been a bloke called Professor Crump.
Oh, yes, I know him.
Oh, you? Okay.
Yeah. No, he's very good. He's very good. Yeah, I used to have giant hands, great big hands, and red and white stripy trousers. And I used to have these giant hands and would shake hands with people. And then I would get on a big walking globe, not on stilts, and juggle.
Well, that's a globe, but...
You know, big. But I would mainly do the entrance, you know, as people arrive and they queue up and all that, and I would be walking up and down. And my whole act really was, hello, all right, hello, how are you? Oh, hello, kitty. And that's what I kind of did. It's amazing people paid me to do that. Far more intellectual, though, than what I'm doing now, which is a bit of a shame. And you just tap them on the head and go, hello, welcome to Beckett. It was lovely to see you. Oh, you brought your sister. That's my mum. Oh, is it your mum? She's too young to be your mum, isn't she? And she's going, all right, son, on your bike. Anyway.
Yeah, that. I mean, it's a bit. I was normally on the train, so I probably wouldn't have, you know, been too much. But there used to be, whether this was you or whether this was Professor Crump, but as people used to get on the little train, he used to tell them that it went over 100-foot high viaduct.
Yeah. That wasn't
me. Does that sound like the sort of thing you might have said?
I might have said it.
It does sound like this
does
sort
sound,
of thing
but
that
I don't think I said it. I'm pretty sure I...
Are you sure?
Well, I'm not going to own up.
Do you want to phone a friend?
Yes, I haven't got any. Well, there's only you and you're here.
I was going to say.
I can't ring you, can I?
You could ring me, but it would be a bit pointless.
Yeah. Oh well, that's fascinating. So, what? Give us your worst Amazon online purchase if you've bought one, then, Henry.
Well, I can't really say because I've never actually used Amazon in my life, believe it or not.
Oh right, that's very laudable. What about online?
I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I do buy things online now and then, but I'm a bit more of a. I like to go into a shop. I like to pick something up and look at it and think, right, do I really want this?
Wait, we've had this phone call conversation. We've had this. This is someone who's just rerun the show. Who was the last person who said that? Ed Loud.
I'm a bit more. Maybe it's a railway thing. I don't know. Because he was talking about railways, but I sometimes buy, like I mentioned, that Perth to Inverness driver's eye view. I bought that online because I knew kind of what that would be.
Yes.
But other things, I just don't tend to buy online. I just more like to go, you know, shopping and
yeah. Are you? Robert Croser wants to know: are you furloughed?
Yes, I am. So I've been sort of not doing too much, but you know,
well,
looking forward to getting back to the work. But
certainly seen some of your videos pop up on the group, which is always good to see.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some...
Yeah, well, I've been sort of using the time to go and visit. Obviously, the places I've been visiting haven't been, I've not been to any paid entry places. I've kind of been looking, like the other day I walked along the River Misbourne, the local chalk stream that flows through me. It flows for about 15 miles. So I just made 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Five
5 episodes.
Yeah, of me following this river, and I don't know how well it'd be interesting because it's something I've never done before. But
right.
It was kind of me adapting. I mean, it was good fun doing it. So, it was just have to see how that goes really. But that was me kind of, if you excuse the pun, I suppose, stepping into a new water, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I like the pun there. Very impressive. Yeah. Very quick off the mark.
Also, seeing you keep eating those cherries, that's the other thing I've noticed about this year. There seems to be cherries everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot on my doorstep, funnily enough.
Sorry, what was that, Henry?
I'm not quite that lucky. I've not had any turn up on my doorstep. Every time I go out for a walk, I end up picking cherries. And I just don't remember any other year where I've eaten so many cherries wildly like that just out on a walk.
Actually, I'd like to see you eating them wildly. I think that would make a good video. Ladies and gentlemen, Henry David Allen, eating cherries wildly.
It does sound like a good title.
Yeah. Henry, lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, and you. Yeah, thank you for letting me join you.
Thank you for calling us up on you.
And joining us.
And we're going to play a video. You must send a video into the Vobes show. Okay,
yes. I'll work out how to do it. I'm sure I can do something.
You just have to upload it. I know you're not very good with the downloading business, but the uploading, I think you've worked out. There was a moment of silence. Have you gone?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh.
Sorry. I'll have a look, see what I can find for you. But all right, I'll let you go. I'll look forward to seeing this video.
Yeah, lovely. Take care. Look after yourself.
And you, yeah. Nice to speak to you both.
Take care.
And you,
bye.
Bye, Henry. Bye. Oh, that was nice. It was nice to get a different caller for a change. Not saying that we don't like the regulars, of course. It was just something different for a change. Shall we go into the video box before
Video box.
Video box coming up.
And dive in the video box.
Right, next up, Nigel. Oh, Monsieur le Saddler. He's all saddled up.
Monsieur le Saddler.
Yes, Nigel Sadler is... now, Nigel, there's a question for you. I wasn't paying attention to anything you said because I was just looking at the cameras. Can you tell me in a comment, what are the cameras on the tripods? Everybody else, ignore that and watch and concentrate on what Nigel is talking about.
Ping! Hello, it's Nigel Sadler here, and I'm standing in the place where I work. Not usually the place I actually work, but this is Tunbridge School Chapel. Tunbridge School's where I work. I don't normally work in the chapel. Today is our big awards prize winning day, which normally happens in a big 1,000-seater marquee out in the quad. But with social distancing, there's nobody here. Part of the service also takes place here in our splendid chapel, which was built just over 100 years ago. They were completely gutted by fire in the end of the 1970s and rebuilt and reopened in the early 80s. And today there's just going to be 4 of us in here: the head boy, the headmaster, myself, and the head of music. And we're doing a live broadcast, 2-camera broadcast on YouTube in just under an hour's time, in fact, where we do a virtual prize winning giving service and sending a good message to our boys for the summer, and the hope that we will see them all back here in September. So that's me signing off from a nice bright sunny day in the chapel of St Augustine at Tunbridge School. Bye.
Ping! Well, I have to say, you did have us in stitches with ping. That was hilarious. Thank you very much, Nigel. Did sound like when you said you're sending this off to the boys and hope they'll all come back, that you were actually sending them to the boys in the First World War or something. It's like, maybe we'll never see them, and we hope they're all right in the trenches. But don't worry, we've got the head boy and the headmaster singing something like, what was that song that you wanted to sing? This is my life with Shirley Bassey. How did it go, Nigel? What were you singing? Ping. Oops.
Watch out.
My ping's fallen down. Yes, what was the ping about? Ping. Oh, a sync point. Right. Normally, when you do a sync point, you don't show it. Just a technical thing. And
yeah, well, if you didn't show it, then we'd have had
nothing
no
to
reason
laugh
to
at.
laugh.
Yes, that's very true.
We'd
of
laugh,
course.
Nat.
Yes, but you wouldn't do a ping.
Action.
Action. Yeah, we know somebody who does action. My sync point. Fair enough. Ping.
Works for me.
Well, if it works for you. Founded in 1553, says Nigel Sadler. Isn't that the time in the great exhibition from the Tudor period? Wasn't that the Tudors' great exhibition, 1550? I'm sure that's when they had the Palace of Crystals was built in the Tudor period. Do you remember that? Ping.
Ping.
Sorry, I've just come back into the real world.
Slap.
Woo! Leader of the universe. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to take the larder to Cumbria. You could take a bag of lard to Cumbria, but you can't put the Cumbria in the lardy cake. Yeah, no, that was good. It was interesting. I hope it went well. Nice cameras, MX5s. I think they're Canon, aren't they? MX5s.
Canon. Sorry.
Canon.
I don't know where that came from.
That's very good. What a beautiful chapel, said Linda Kane. Oh, where does she think? It was Vision, not Vision on. Eurovision, she said. Ah, yes, it's a shame. Wonderful building, Nigel. Nice to know you. Know you nice.
Now, nice to work there because there's no people there, I assume.
Ah, yes, nice. Burnt down. It's a shame in whenever it was, and then rebuilt sometime later.
Hey, I just heard recently that my favourite theatre that I have performed in before, and I felt
the
ghost presence twice.
Yes.
2 different ghosts. The new Theatre Royal in Portsmouth. I hear it's actually been refurbed at the back. It now has all the dressing rooms and everything rebuilt. It's a whole big tower block and
where they can fly a fly tower.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and
Things
right
like
at the top is a fly trap.
So so I wondered why my old Amdram group weren't doing it there anymore.
Because they can't afford it.
They can't afford it.
Oh, I see. It's a shame. That's a right old shame.
I wonder if the new Theatre Royal would let old Vobesy in for
yes, new Theatre Royal. If you're
Baldy.
watching, because obviously we get a lot of theatres watching it.
I think you need assistance on that one though.
Yes, I'll see if
I'd love to go back in there.
I'll see if Henry David is available for it. I meant the lovely Julia. Meet the gang, because the boys are here. The boys to entertain you. BOYS. Boys to entertain you. Hello, boys.
I'm presuming you know that.
Lovely boys. Lovely boys.
I'm presuming you know what that's from.
Yes, that's from. That's from. Oh, don't tell me.
It's from the
lovely boys, lovely boys. That's what's his name? Meet the boys.
I could
The
just
boys
hear the
are
little,
here.
The boys
to
to Vobes in the
entertain
head, just running
you.
along the corridor, trying to find the right room, and then opening up the
boys to
filing
entertain.
cabinets.
What was it called? It was lovely boys, lovely boys.
Can't you get there?
God, it'll come to me. It ain't half hot, Mum.
Hey, well done.
It ain't half hot, Mum. There we are. It came to
know.
me. There we are. If you have time, Henry, show your old railways. Yes, show them.
He's trying to
It ain't
convince
half
Henry
hot,
to go
Mum.
up and
There we
see
are.
him.
Audrey's come up with it. Fantastic. Josephine Suter says, ha ha. She says more than that. Nice video. Nice video. Has anyone been to Bodiam Castle? I was thinking of going.
I was looking at it recently thinking, because I haven't been there, and I'd really like to, and I know it's not that far away, but it is further than I thought it was when I looked.
Yeah, I've been there, Bodiam Castle. It's a funny old place, Bodiam Castle. It's a magical fairy tale castle, not built at the time of Bodiam Castle times, but it was. I think it was actually built in the time of Bodiam Castles with a moat all the way around. It looks absolutely beautiful. Go inside, nothing. It's a shell, and of course inside there would have been lots of. When I went there, it was a shell. I went with me, and she was very nice. Michelle, Marbell, ring on the bell, ding ding. Anyway, number 42 is coming. No, originally inside the shell would have been wooden timber-framed timber buildings and thatched roofs and stuff, which is not ideal if someone shoots an arrow with fire on it.
Not ideal at all.
Not ideal. Big flash. Ah! Leader of the universe. Flash alive! But yeah, apparently that's. I have been in there once, but I would like to go back there and film in there again. So maybe we should. Is it National Trust property now? Because we've got the tickets to get in for free. We got the tickets to get in for free.
Speaking of tickets,
Yes.
when are we going in a hot air balloon?
Oh, well,
When are they starting?
Yeah, well, it can't be too much longer because I'm waiting. I've still got the reservation for a hot air balloon, but we're waiting for them to say it's COVID friendly. At the moment, if you're a metre apart, it still can't get enough people in there.
True.
So what they're doing is with the hot air balloon, they've got the big basket and, you used to get about 12 people in. Well, now they're going at 6, 4 people in the basket and 2 hanging on.
I was waiting for that.
But that's handy because if you're hanging on, you can jump before the basket comes down because the basket usually flops over, and those in the basket usually have to stay and roll up the deflated.
But those hanging on to the basket, they
yeah,
can just go home.
those just run. They just leg it. They go, thanks.
Nigel Sadler says yes, it is National Trust.
Oh, well, there we are. We can go in for free. We should do that as soon as they open their doors. We must do that. Hermitage Castle is a sight to see, says Robert Carosa, although only one person at a time. Is that because it's a hermit? Oh, yeah. My wife Helen, says Mike Dixon, and our daughter visited Bodiam Castle on Friday. They said it was very quiet and most exhibits were closed. They had to swim back across the moat, shark infested, now because they had pulled up the drawbridge. If only I had taken a pencil and paper, I could have drawn my own. When Richard reads, he really has to go right across, right over to the lovely Julie. What a shame for him.
It's a shame I forgot my mask today. I think I needed it.
Dawn Coping says...
Copping
says, don't read my name wrong, Richard, you swine. They have victory plays on there, which are very interesting.
Cool.
Victory.
What's a victory play?
What is a victory play? Is that like actors sucking victory V's or something? You know what a victory V is?
I have no idea.
Oh, I love it. Yes, Hermitage is another one of a castle.
Linda is asking, where would we be flying from?
Oh, it's probably round Petworth way. So you could come and watch and wave a hanky, Linda. That would be perfect. If you could come along with a big pair of bellows. I suppose it's a pair of bellows, isn't it? It's not a singular. Anyway, come with a pair of bellows to help blow up the balloon. And don't bring the TNT, as some people do when they blow up a balloon, or the Semtex. And then just a nice little hanky. Then as we take off, you can be at the bottom all drippy-eyed.
Teary-eyed.
Teary-eyed. Oh, Richard and Julia. Richard, please, please.
Sean's Allotment
You
Garden
should have
and
waited
Homestead
for the pilot.
says, still need to visit Leeds Castle. That's a beautiful one. Have you been there?
Yeah, Leeds Castle. You have to be a bit careful because if you don't get it attached at the right time, it runs off without you. And I tell you, if it gets on the heath, you trouble. Chases after deer and all sorts of stuff. So you've got to keep it well tethered.
It makes me giggle that it's in Kent.
Yes, Leeds Castle in Kent. Yes, it's got nothing to do with the town of Leeds.
Is there a Kent Castle in Leeds?
Oh yes, and you can't get in it.
Ha!
That is the trouble with that one. And a lot of people can't see it either.
No. It's absolutely lovely, though, Leeds Castle.
Yes, very nice. I have been there.
To look at it, it reminds me of pictures I've seen of Bodiam. So
yes,
they've both got, big
a
square thing in the middle of the water.
Yes, that's right. It's got a big square thing in the middle of the water. You mean the keep in front of the moat?
Yes, the square keep. It just...
Yes, it's bigger, Leeds Castle.
Yeah.
It's much bigger. Petworth of Midhurst as common launches, says, yes, I think it's Petworth, just so you know.
Linda Kane
Linda
Kane says she flew from Ebeno, and she took her father for his 80th birthday.
Ebeno? Yeah. Well, you never know. It might go from there.
You never know. It might go from Ebeno.
Sorry, Victorian plays, says Dawn Coping.
That makes more sense.
Yes, of course, Victorian plays. I mean, those victory plays. We won! We won! Thank you. Thank you for coming to see the victory play. Next week, we're doing something else.
Ron Langley asks, would you be making it as a Bold Explorer video in the balloon, Richard?
Oh, yes, definitely would be a Bold Explorer balloon flight.
Cool.
Yes, absolutely. It would be fantastic. And we get to see if the lovely Julia bounces in that episode. Something I haven't told you about. Took my father for his 80th birthday.
I have nothing funny to say back at that. It's really bad.
What? See if you bounce. Yeah. Would you be... You've read that. I love moats. My local palace has a wonderful moat. No
keep, though.
Keep, though.
I said that bit. I've just said all that.
Oh, did you say all that? Sorry.
No. Just teasing.
We haven't seen... talking about... I've said that. Oh, so that's Kevin here.
I know.
I don't know what's happening.
Although, was it one of the shows you've done recently that I wasn't in with you? You'd said something and then it just made me laugh because I just turned around and said to the screen, I've just said all that. Oh, I've just said all that. And yeah, you didn't react, obviously, because...
I missed it.
Well, because you missed what? Your cherry?
No, I missed what the show. I missed it when you said it.
Yeah, it wasn't on a show. Never mind.
We've got one last video.
Yay!
And
Save me.
Guess who it is?
Is it Murphy?
No.
Norris?
But yes.
Yes!
It's the Andrew Norris moment, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you have all been waiting for. Talking about hermitage places or places for hermits. Maybe shepherds and things like that. We have another top video for you. But we're not playing that. We're going to show you Andrew Norris's one instead. Oh, everyone a Jim. Thank you so much, Andrew. Here it is. Andrew Norris. He's in a different village in Croatia.
Hello, roasters. It's a very windy day, but I'm in a different village. I'm in a village about 15 miles behind Šibenik on the Dalmatian coast. And this is a very different village from mine. This is a village where they seem to grow only stone, but they make remarkable use of the stone. These beautiful walls, dry stone walls. But I'm walking to a place that I always like to visit when I come here. And it shows you how creative village people can be with the use of stone. This is a very unforgiving landscape. You can see how thin the soil is. People here mainly have sheep, or they used to. But there's very little life in this region. I mean, look at it. It's pretty barren. Few houses. And all this, we call it shikara, these plants are just taking over. This is what I always come to see. These remarkable little structures built into the wall, like shepherd sanctuaries.
Stone.
Let's go inside.
Field. Shelter. A house without windows, a sanctuary for a shepherd, with an aperture open to a clear cerulean sky, just wide enough to let a shaft of sunlight enter, and wander across the honey-coloured stone, welded together by a weight, stitched by a silken thread, gathering its energy into concentric circles, guiding the eye upwards.
Zara's watching out for sheep.
Clock or calendar.
But there aren't any more left.
These rings say nothing of its age, nor who was its maker, who toiled to clear the field of stones, and make the land more arable, who took shelter from the heat, and who listened to the crackle of dried grass drying further, and imagined he heard thunder, rolling like waves across an ocean. Old stone gatherer. I have wandered along the lanes you carved out between the fields where you laboured your whole life. Nothing is planted, nothing sown. Only the wind remains to be harvested. Look how thin this wall is. They're built in such a ramshackled way. But it's probably been here for 100 years. It seems like the only thing that they're harvesting around here is the wind from the turbines on the hill.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Something a bit more poetic and fascinating. Those lovely old stone little buildings for the shepherds.
Yeah, wonderful. Love the Zorro. Ever the artiste, though, aren't you, Norris?
Yes, ever the artiste.
Ever the artiste.
Which is nice to see. And
apparently the lovely music was on a recorder.
not panpipes.
No, I actually really like panpipes. Mark Selwood apparently doesn't.
Does he not like panpipes?
No. But not many people like recorders. But I like recorders.
I've got a field recorder which I put on my thing like this, and every time I do my voices and stuff, it goes on to and that's how I get the voice on the... Got this book, ladies and gentlemen. It's The World for a Shilling by Michael Leapman. He was going to do it in the leap years, but that's not his name. And I've just been looking up here just to show you, because we were talking about the Great Exhibition of 1857, and it was actually 1851, so we all got it wrong, apart from those who got it right, which was most of us. Lovely Julia, lovely Julia.
Lovely pictures.
Yes, could you hold up the special...
I'm sure I could manage.
The World for a Shilling cam. We'll just switch over to the World for a Shilling cam. Hang on, it takes a little technical know-how how to do that. So here we go. We've got some famous people there. I believe one of those is the photo of Albert and Prince. I mean, Queen Victoria on her deathbed there. And below that, some people looking at an old book. Not sure what that's got to do with anything. The Royal Commission standing to attention.
Left to right.
Then here's some early designs for the Crystal Palace. You can see that they look like cake decorations at a wedding. But more importantly, down below is one of the early designs by Mr. C. Burton. Shows how close the finished building was to the early design. I don't know how close it was, actually.
Was that the...
I don't know.
Early design.
It was an early design.
Okay.
Yes, that's what it said on the text there. So there's excuse me, a bit of COVID. Some people all dressed up in actually the Crystal Palace. It's not focus. The camera is.
It was focused. Then you put your finger in.
Yeah, wrecked it. There we go. Look at that.
And then text will always do it.
Yeah, there we are. Look at that. It doesn't know what it's doing there.
Sometimes.
And then below here is another drawing.
Come on. Focus.
Look at that. Looks vast, doesn't it? So it's amazing that it's no longer there. I think there was a rainstorm or something. It got blown down. This is where they were showing you what India would look like. The Indian court showing the magnificence of Howdar adorning the stuffed elephant borrowed from the Essex amusement park.
Okay.
Anyway, we won't go through all the pictures because they're too nice to be witnessed. But yes, that's the... that's the thing. Anyway, it's a book that has been on my shelf for a long time. I haven't read it.
You haven't read it yet? Shh.
But before we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a piece of cake.
Yes!
I know we're running a little bit late, and we nearly forgot, but we had so much to get through on today, the last day before Christmas. And we have some cake, lovely Julia.
Julia has beaten up on the way.
Julia's been cooking.
Well, baking.
Oh, baking, beg pardon, yes.
Hardly anything amazing.
She's bought a keyboard cake. That's very nice.
I actually intended to do brownies, but I kind of
muffins.
dozed off and they burned.
Oh no. As you do, they doze off. I put stuff in my oven like a loaf of bread and forgot, and that got burnt.
Yeah. As you can see, it's bashed against the side of the thing. I dropped it.
Fortunately, we have cake vision.
When I got out the car, I dropped it and it went sliding into the side of the cake box.
Wow, look at that. There we are, a bit of cake vision.
So it's
for
just
you.
chocolate cake rather than brownies.
But it's a brown chocolate cake.
Brown chocolate cake.
Wait, all chocolate cakes are brown, unless it's white chocolate, of course, or chocolate that's been artificially coloured pink. Paxton also designed the greenhouse in Kew. Oh, did he? Paxton. I used to enjoy him on the telly. May have been a different Paxton. Ed Loud says, I think Richard Suggett could do with that there place to use as a mighty greenhouse. I'm afraid that their place is no longer standing. I think there's...
Someone said it was destroyed by fire in 1936.
Oh, yeah,
Graham Roffey said that.
Oh, did he? There we are. Thanks, Graham. I think there's just a bit of concrete left to show where it was, and there's a park, isn't there? It's Crystal Palace Park. Linda Kane says, recently went to the Art Society talk about the Great Exhibition. Speaker was amazing, was very interesting. His name was Richard Vobes, and he said a
Want
lot.
some cake?
He said a lot of lies. Oh, we should
He's
have
got to land on all the equipment.
Yeah.
Splodge.
We're going to eat this with our fingers, aren't we? Because
Yeah,
I didn't realise it was as creamy as it is, and moist.
Moist. No crunch here.
In Crystal Palace, says Rick M, people should not throw stones. No. Or start fires. Cake, well, yum.
Cake cam.
Cake cam.
Cake cam. Cake cam. Is it going to focus? Hello. Oops. Cake cam.
Yeah, sorry about the lack of focus on our cake cam. But there we are. Look at that. That looks delicious. And you made all those ingredients yourself, didn't you?
I wish I had made it all from scratch. But no, it's just a boring cake mix.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
From
whilst
Betty Crocker.
Good old Betty Crocker.
Good old Betty Crocker.
Hope she doesn't mind you nicking her stuff.
Well, it's tough.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's our Friday show done and dusted. We're going to munch cake whilst the world spins. And you have a wonderful weekend. It's been very nice that you've sent in your lovely videos. We do appreciate it. And, of course, your comments. And thanks for all the thumbs up, the 41 thumbs up. That was great. We were hoping to get to 60, but, of course, doesn't really matter that we didn't reach it. We're not...
60 what? 60 thumbs up?
Yeah, we're not...
How many thumbs up did we get?
We've only got 41.
Oh, only
I mean,
41?
it doesn't matter. I mean, if people don't like us that much anyway...
It's all right. We always get more down likes when I'm on.
Yeah, we get hundreds and hundreds.
I'll just
of
let
down.
that go to my head.
Yeah, let it go to your head. Yes, that's true. No, you don't get down likes when you're on.
Here you go. Someone asked to have some cake. Yeah, can you get it? Yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, how's
Hold
it
it there.
taste?
Hold it there.
Ready?
Here it comes.
Hey, in your face with the chocolate cake. Nom nom nom. How was that? Nice?
That was lovely. Anyway, we're out of here. Thank you so much. Look after yourself.
Chocolate thumbs up.
I'm worried where that bit of cream's going to go. Until next time, look after yourselves.
Tatty bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Bye.